Okay. So today in our English textbook, that is unit number 2, we have a very interesting story. That story is about a person who's having a very mischievous or a many different kind of peoples whom he met. What is his experience is given in that story. So what is the name of the story is The Adventures of Gulliver. What is The Adventures of Gulliver? You can see in the picture itself is told that the person who is here, his name is Gulliver, and he is telling about his experiences. What happens when he was in a adventurous voyages, when he started his journey, what was happened and whom do he met, what was his experience, everything is been told through this story. Okay, so let us start with our lesson number 13, that is The Adventures of Gulliver. The story is, let us start with reading the para, that is Gulliver's Travel is an interesting book written by a well-known English writer, Jonathan Swift, in which he describes the voyages of Gulliver's to various lands like Lilliput and Brodigang. Though the characters of Gulliver's and these strange sounding lands are imaginary. Okay, so what was the Gulliver's Travel? The Adventures of Gulliver's is telling about the voyages, the uh, travel. Where do he traveled? Where do he visited that place? All these place like the Lilliputs and the Brodigan. So these are the places where does the Gulliver met and he experienced something new. But when the Jonathan Swift, the writer of this book, when he is talking about all these all lands are imaginary. It's his imagination. We don't have this kind of lands or this kind of places. But with the help of his imagination power, Jonathan Swift has written a very lovely, very nice or interesting book called Gulliver's Travel. Okay, though the characters of Gulliver's and the strange sounding land are imaginary, the Gulliver himself is an imaginary character. Gulliver's experience and adventures are written so well that they seem real and true to life. Okay, the power of writing itself shows that how deep do you describe them. It should look real. When you read, that time you should start imagining that yes, the Gulliver met with an accident, he was traveling, he was just had an accident, and he met with this kind of people, he met or he visited this kind of lands. Everything is so imaginative, so descriptive that it looks real. Whenever you start reading, you feel that you exactly are in that place. Okay, so Gulliver's, the story tells us the worked as a surgeon on ship. Okay, he's a surgeon on the ship, such as he made several voyages. He started his voyages with the ships, and as he started, he was working or he worked there as a surgeon. Many voyages was done. In May 1699, he sailed on the ship. Okay, let us, he was telling the background of the story, that when do he started his journey, where do he where was he and everything. Okay, so what is the incident? The incident happened in the May 1699. Okay, as I told you, he made the imagination in a real life. We do think that it's a real life story. That's why he gave each and every detail on that. So he mentioned the month, year, everything. So what did he say? That he sailed on the ship. What was the name of the ship? Is the Antelope. The ship name himself is a Antelope. But on the return journey, okay. So On the return journey in November, a violent storm sank his ship. We know that there is not a constant atmosphere in the oceans. So suddenly, when he was coming back or he was returning to the after his journey in a November, he started his journey in the May. But when in the November he started coming back from the Antioch, at that time he met with a violent storm. Okay, he met with a you called that is storm. Storm comes in the ocean and everything devastated. His ships was dropped and every members or the merchants who are on that voyages, everyone just collapsed. But Gulliver swam to save his life. He managed to become alive and he started swimming and he reached to the port. Late in the evening, okay, let us start that what happened when the Gulliver started swimming. Late in the evening means in the about in the night, he found himself marooned on a strange land, weak and exhausted. He slept for about 9 hours. It was daylight when he awoke. What is the situation? The Gulliver's ship met with an accident. He is having a storm, and because of that storm, everything is devastated. But Gulliver tried himself to swim, and he reached to the place where he was feeling very weak. All the day he was swimming in that ocean to reach to the shore. So he was feeling very weak and exhausted. That land was not known to him. It was a very strange land. He never gone on that land. So the very new or the strange land he was landed, he was very exhausted, feeling thirsty, feeling hungry. So because of this weakness, he felt asleep. And how much time he was sleeping? He slept about 9 hours. And when he slept, he woke up in the morning and it was a daylight. It was everywhere. There was a light. The sun was shining. Now, let us see what has happened. And the story himself is told with the in his words, in the Gulliver's word. Okay, let us see. In a little time, now the Gulliver started talking. Okay, he reached the port. He was just very thirsty, very exhausted, very tired, and he started talking with all of us. He started telling his own experience. Okay, so what did the Gulliver said that in a little time I felt something alive moving on my foot. What did he said that when he woke up from his sleep? He said that I felt something moving on my foot. As we know that somewhere ant walks or the crawls on our feet, we feel something na? That like that the Gulliver was feeling. Someone is moving on his foot. Then it came over my body. The whatever is moving on his foot is came across to his body and reached up to his face, the Gulliver's face. Now, as Gulliver was exhausted, he turning my eyes down as much as I could. What he said that as we were sleeping, we cannot see what is going in front of. So he tried to pull his head and try to see that what is crawling or walking on his body. I saw a man. What did he say that? Something walking or moving on my body was a man. Now, the description of that man is very interesting. That he was not half a foot high. What did he say? That he was a very smaller, half a foot of high. By his dress, he seems to be a soldier. He was so small, but then also his dress or his performance shows me that he is a soldier. Then there comes a 40 more. What did he say that? When I was woke up, that time only one man was moving. But about in a minute, the small, half a boat of men came on my body. Following the first, they all were following that soldier. I was so much surprised. He was surprised that I gave a great cry. He was surprised in the sense he was shocked. He cannot imagining that he was alive as well as someone is a small people are just roaming on his body. So in that surprise and in that what you called shocked position, he started crying loudly. Then they all ran back in the great fear. As you can imagine, it's a huge man sleeping over there. Small men are walking on the body, and suddenly that huge body or huge monster started crying. What will be happen? We all should run, na? So like that, all these men, the 40 men who are walking on that body, they ran with a great fear. They scared and they started running. But, and I was told later, some of them were hurt in the jumping down from my body on the ground. As they were scared, they were running, they don't know where they are going, but they started jumping from that body. And that body was very huge. When they jumped, they got hurted. When the Gulliver came to know this, whenever everything was settled, at that time, these small people started talking with him. And in that position, they told that in a first impression, you hurted our soldier. Okay. So this is the picture you can imagine. The 40 people are just walking on the Gulliver. The man who is sleeping over here is a Gulliver. Okay. And the people who were walking on his body. So they got hurted. You can see they are jumping. They are just running out and asking for the help. Now, the Gulliver, after just waking up, came back after his sleep. He started making himself or to attempt to pull him free. He was sleeping, and all the men were walking on his body. He was started crying. Every incident happened. Now he wants to get up. He was exhausted. He want to eat something. That's why he's tried to get up. But what happened? Let's see. After pulling very hard, I got one arm up from the ground. I also raised my head. This gave me great pain, so many of hairs were pulled out. I put out my head to catch some of the little men, but they ran away before I could close my hand to them. Then I heard a noise and I felt a pricking in my hand like that, the thousands of needles. I found that they were shooting arrows at me. I was afraid for my eyes. I put my hands over my face. Now, as soon as Gulliver wants to get up, he just rose his one hand and his head also. And you can see in this picture, he was just trying to get up. His hairs are being nailed with something. So they hurted. When he started waking up, his hairs were stretched and he felt the hurt. Okay. So when the Gulliver tried everything and he wants to catch that people, those who are hurting them, he tried to catch them, but they just ran away. And the other soldiers, those who are ready with their arrow and the needle, they started just shooting the arrow. The other soldiers, those who are standing, they started hitting the or shooting the arrows, and they are, for that huge body, they are like a small needles. So he wants to just save his eyes. He put all his hands on his face. Okay. So the Gulliver's attempt to pull him free was failed. He was not able to free himself. Okay. So after this, I thought, okay, as he was trying to make him feel free, After they finished shooting the arrow, I thought that the wisest thing to do was to lie down quiet till night. He thought that as I'm trying to free myself, they are shooting the arrows and I'll get hurted. They can be hurt to my eyes, the mouth, the ears. So the wisest way, the good way or the efficient way is just keep lying on the ground till the night. In the night, in the darkness, I can do something. So this was the thought came in the mind. I thought that then my hands being free, I could quickly set free the rest of my body. What he did said that as soon as the night came in the darken, I have my hand free. One hand is being free, so I can make my whole body free, or I can untie myself. Soon a platform was raised. As he was thinking, I could quickly set off. Okay, so as he was thinking all of these things, the platform was raised and an important looking man gave a long speech. Now, as he was totally packed with the ropes, next to him, the platform or short kind of table was arranged, and on that table, a man with a important, it was looking a very important man, and he came on that platform and started giving a long speech. Okay. From his gesture, I guessed that he was trying to tell me that they would not harm me if I did as they told. I too replied with the gesture that I would remain quiet. Now, what was the speech given by that man is, we are not going to hurt you, we are not going to make you harm, but you should have to help us. Okay, and his gesture, his whatever he was talking, he looks like a very important person. He's looking like a king of that all the soldiers. So as the Gulliver wants to free himself, he said, yes, I will not harm anyone, or I will follow, or I will do whatever you will tell me. Okay. And why did Gulliver told this? Because he was feeling so hungry. He was feeling so tired. And he said, he also told that I am feeling hungry. Should I have something to eat? Okay. Now, the Gulliver ate a giant meal. As he was told to that important person that I am feeling hungry, I will not harm you, I will do whatever you people will tell. On that contract, the important man or that person arranged the food or the meal for the Gulliver. And you can see they are so small, a foot, a half a foot. So the food maybe they have to bring in a cans or the gans or whatever. So at once 100 of men climbed up on my body and marched up to my mouth. See, imagine that the huge body sleeping over there, hundreds of small men like an ant walking on his body reached towards his mouth, and they were just passing the food from the ground till his mouth. They were just passing the food. The bread was as small as a bullet. It was very small. The bread size was for him as like a just one piece of cut. I ate 2 or 3 loaves at a time. What did he say? That when we eat, one bread is very enough for our 4 or 5 bites. But according to that small man, he was eating 2 and 3 or more loaves or so many bunch of bread all together because they are very small, as like a bullet. Cries to surprise rose from the Lilliputians. Where do is? The place itself is a Lilliput, as I mentioned in the book. Okay, so they are called the Lilliputians. I should eat so quickly and so much. The Lilliputians were no longer afraid of me. Now, as they were familiar with that person, he promised that he will not hurt. Gulliver will not hurt them. He will listen to them. So they no longer afraid of him. They danced on my body and ran to and fro. They were running everywhere on his body. They are feeling very free to have the talk or the give food to that person. I could have caught at least 40 of them with my hands and thrown them down, but I remembered my promise to remain quiet. What did he say? That as they were roaming on my body, I am free. I can hurt them. I can pick up 40 to 50 in my hand and just throw them like an ants. But as a good person, I remembered my promise. I will remain quiet. So he haven't hurted the small Lilliputans. Okay. You can see in this picture how many loaf of breads they were having. Full of drums are there with the loaf of breads, and he was eating 4 to 5 at a time. Okay. Now, indeed, I was surprised that their bravery, for I much have seemed the greatest giant in the world. How do the people were looking at him? As he was the greatest giant, greatest monster in the world. They were looking very like that. So later, I was taken to the city where the king lived. What did? After making a very comfort zone for both of them, as both of them were promised to each other they will not harm. After that, the Gulliver was taken to the king. A great cart was made by joining many carts. Okay, many platforms or the wooden carts were attached to each other and made a great cart. A big cart was made. 900 men worked for the 3 hours to put me on the cart. What did they do? They haven't made the Gulliver free all. He was tied, and what did they do? Just 900 men worked together to just pull him to the cart, which was drawn by 1500s of the king's finest horses. How many horses? The 1500s of horses were helped to pull him. The city was just half a mile away, but the journey took almost a full day. When the Gulliver started walking, he can just in 2-3 steps he would have reached the city. But the small men, the Lilliputans, were pushing him. They took the full day to pass that journey. The half a mile they reached when the full day was over. They started the journey in the morning and they reached there in the night. Okay. The king came out to meet me. Okay. He came near and looked at me. It was not though safe for him to climb upon me. At the place where the cart supposed there was an old church. It was the largest building in the whole country. Where did he met? The king came out from his palace and he came near and looked at me. It was not safe that the main person of the city or the Lilliputans, he should climb on the body. With the safe distance, he started looking at the Gulliver. And the cart stopped where? Near the church, the old church. And it was the largest building in the whole country. Which country? The Lilliputans country. Okay, not regarding our own. Everything is just an imaginative. Imagine that the small person, people are just having their life and the huge body enters. What is the situation? For certain reasons, it had not been used as a church for many years. Okay, the church is not being used for many years. and it had now been made ready for me to use as my house. They don't have a big house in the city. So what did they do? The old church, the whole big church was there. They made it clean, they made it very clear to leave for the Gulliver. Now, the great door on the north was 4 feet high and 2 feet wide. You can imagine, just a 4 feet. Gulliver was about 6 feet, but the door was very small, and it is a wideness is also very small, the 2 feet wide. So I could go into by going down on my head. How should he go? He was a 6 feet and the door was only 4 feet. How should we go? How should we enter? He has to enter sitting on his knees, walking down on his head. Okay. One of my feet was set in a great ring on the end of the strong strings so that I could not get away. What did the Lilliputians have done? They made the Gulliver free. His whole body was untied. Only the one leg was tied with the strong string. Okay, you know that in a prison, the person who is committed or the person who is in a prison, they tie their one leg with that. In a circus also, when you entered in that circus, the elephants were put one string on their legs. Like that, the Lilliputians have caught him with the strong string in his one leg. Okay, so the country outside looked like a garden. When he was started watching at the country, it is looking like a garden for him. After some day, the king and his people were convinced that I would not harm them. They being the friend, after spending so much time with them, they were both are comfort with each other. And they have come to know or convinced himself that both of them will not harm. So after I agreed to keep certain orders of the king, I was allowed to move around. What did they say? They set him free. He can move in the city. He can just have the friendship with others also. But the order was he don't have to hurt or harm anyone. Okay. I think we should stop till here.
Lemuel Gulliver was from Nottingham in England. He studied at Cambridge and then became apprenticed to a surgeon in London. Gulliver used his spare time to learn about navigation and mathematics. He believed that one day he would travel to far-off lands. Gulliver worked for 3 years as a ship surgeon. He then returned to London, got married, and tried without success to work as a medic. Finally, he met Captain William Pritchard, master of the Antelope, and set sail for the South Seas. They left Bristol on the 4th of May, 1699. Far into the South Seas, their ship was overwhelmed by a violent storm. Many of the crew died. On November 5th, the ship was blown onto some rocks and was doomed. Gulliver tried to escape in a lifeboat, but the boat was inundated and sank. Gulliver had the choice to swim or to die. He swam until he was exhausted and his feet dropped. He could feel the sand below, so he knew he was close to land, and he managed to walk to safety. Gulliver had arrived in a land he would come to know as Lilliput. He could see no sign of either houses or inhabitants. Weak from exhaustion, Gulliver lay down and fell into a deep sleep, not waking before it was daylight. When Gulliver awoke, he realized that he'd been strongly fastened to the ground. His captors, known as Lilliputians, were human-like creatures no more than a few inches tall. They provided him with food and drink, which was laced with a sleeping potion. He slept all through the following night. While Gulliver slept, his captors placed him onto a carriage and took him to a disused temple near their capital city. The carriage was drawn by hundreds of the local inhabitants. At the disused temple, Gulliver was inspected by the emperor and his senior officers. Thousands of the local inhabitants came to marvel at him. Gulliver was chained to the temple, and the ropes that bound him were cut. Now he could move a little and lie down in the shelter of the old temple. Gulliver entertained the court.
Okay, so this was all about the Gulliver's travel. I hope all of you have understood half of the story. We will look into the next lecture, about tomorrow's lecture. Okay, till then, just remember this story of Gulliver's, the background and what happened with him exactly. Okay.